Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today to talk about some very exciting breaking news from Medtronic Diabetes. We're talking about the FDA approval of the newest member of the MiniMed family, the MiniMed 630G system. Are you going to hold it up? There it is. All right. So I'm Carrie Hallbaker from the social media team and pleased to introduce Luis Diaz, our Chief Patient Officer. Wave, Luis.
Hello.
And Mike Hill, Vice President of Marketing for our intensive insulin management business.
Hello.
These are two leaders who we are very lucky to have as part of the Medtronic Diabetes team. Luis joined us a little over a year ago, bringing 20 plus years of experience in consumer companies, where he used smart research and insights to guide marketing and R&D and create strategies to improve the customer experience. Mike has been with Medtronic for more than a decade. While those of us in marketing really like to tease him about his roots as a mechanical engineer, that experience is a great benefit as he and his team collaborate with R&D and others in the development of pumps, sensors, and advanced diabetes management systems, which represent those really important steps along the path to a fully automated artificial pancreas. These guys work together to ensure we put patients first and deliver products, services, and experiences to help you achieve greater freedom and better health. So I'm going to ask Luis to kick things off by telling the community what he's most excited about with this new product. But first, I will remind everyone that they can find important safety information on our website at medtronicdiabetes.com/important safety information. Luis?
Hey everyone. I don't think that Mike or I are really professionals on Facebook. We're a little excited. We're a little nervous. We're going to do our best. We're going to try to answer all your questions. Hopefully we'll make it entertaining. We're going to have a little fun too. But for me, first and foremost, I just want to communicate how thrilled we are as a company, how thrilled we are for our employees to be able to provide MiniMed 630G. I think this is transformational for us. I think there's a lot of excitement back in Northridge. I think we're just really pumped up on this new introduction. So when I think about this new introduction about MiniMed 630G, I really am thinking about the fact that this is the new phase of Medtronic. This is what we've been talking about. We want to be a patient first. We want to be a patient-oriented company, and I think this is our first step to prove that we are thinking patient first. We understand that no two patients are the same. We understand everybody is on a journey. We've got that. We've received a lot of feedback on that. We understand that there's a lot of appetite for choice, for people getting something that is meaningful and relevant to each one of their situations. And so we feel like this is our first go forth and show proof of that. I also think about our new pump, our new member of the family as something that really has the best of a lot of great things. So it brings SmartGuard technology, and I'll let Mike really go into the depths and details of what that means in terms of actionable insights and actionable actions to take care of patients' lives. But it also brings a lot of other benefits that are unique, that are practical, and that are meaningful to patients in their daily lives. So I'm really excited about the fact that we're bringing together the best of what we have to offer based on a lot of research, a lot of listening to a lot of what patients tell us, and from that point of view, we think this is really the best, the only, the first to combine SmartGuard with a great color screen, with great waterproof, with great sound alarm adjustments, etc., etc., etc. We just think that this is going to make a lot of patients happier and help them control their diabetes. So, cheers, thank you. The whole of Medtronic is really excited about this little pump here.
Thanks, Luis. So Mike, Lewis mentioned SmartGuard technology. Do you want to remind our community what that's all about and maybe talk about what excites you?
Yeah, sure. Well, the thing that excites me the most is actually having this pump here and available for everybody. Carrie mentioned I've been with Medtronic for over 10 years, and I've been involved both on the marketing side but also in the engineering side for this product since the beginning. And so I'm really excited that it's available for everybody. And Lewis mentioned, all of the interaction that we had with users and incorporating the feedback. And I can say, because I personally interacted with hundreds of users who helped us test this and give us feedback. And so I have a lot of confidence that this has been co-designed between us and you all, and that there's a lot of exciting things that this is going to bring. Carrie mentioned SmartGuard. It's interesting. Probably the most important thing about the pump is actually not different from the MiniMed 630G, which is the SmartGuard feature, which you may know as the threshold suspend. And so that's the feature where the pump and sensor are working together, and you set a predetermined glucose level, the threshold, and when the sensor glucose goes below that preset threshold, the pump will suspend the insulin delivery for up to 2 hours if the user does not respond to the alarm. And so that's the MiniMed 630G, like the MiniMed 530G, is the only system that has a pump and sensor together that takes action when you need it. Because knowing the glucose value isn't enough by itself, right? And so the pump actually takes that information and will suspend the delivery. So that's the same from the MiniMed 530G to the 630G, but it's probably the most important feature and the one that we're most excited about.
So, how about you guys take us on a little tour of the new pump? What do you say to that?
Sure. Let me start by highlighting a little bit of what I call some real practical benefits that are first for MiniMed and for Medtronic. And let me start with the fact that this is now a much sleeker, much more modern, much more. I like it. I want to show it up kind of design. It contains a large screen. It contains touch-sensitive buttons. It's just something that I think people are going to feel like they can put it out there, show it off, answer questions, and just brag about it, so to speak. So I really like the design. It's a nice little new design concept. The one thing that I'm really excited that we heard a lot of patient comments has to do with what I call visual comfort and the ability for patients that are struggling a little bit with some visual acuity and that are struggling a little bit with lighting conditions outside, inside, at night. People want to see what's going on the screen and they can't. This is really absolutely fantastic when it comes to visual comfort and the ability for people to read the display. It's a very smart screen, very high pixel quality. It is also very smart, so it adapts and adjusts depending on external lighting conditions. If you're asleep at night and you wake up, you can just touch the screen and things come alive. So it makes life easier in terms of accessing the pump. So I'm really excited about that piece. There was a lot of thought, a lot of great technology that went into our screen. So the other thing that I'm excited is that we now have a water-resistant pump. I know a lot of people out there sometimes come into contact with water. That's just life, and that's what we're trying to do, is create products that address life as it comes at you, address extraordinary moments of your life, and I think 12 feet, 24 hours, that's a lot of room for people to be relaxed, to go about their water activities. I thought that there was a lot of good thought put into that part of the pump. The other thing that I just like about it, I know it might be silly, but again, you're out there, you wake up, you're not quite conscientious, you pick up your pump, you drop it, things happen, you fumble things. I know it's silly, but but we've done a lot of tests, drop tests around this pump, and this MiniMed 630G can take a lot, and I think that's really important. You don't want to lose your pump, with a silly drop. That happens with our smartphones, but I think this can take a little bit of a drop and really survive it and just be there for you all of the time. And then I'll just touch on one final point, Mike. We heard a lot about the alerts. Can I hear them? Can I not hear them? Are they loud enough? Again, we've listened to that. We made that adjustable, so you've got a lot of control in your situations. In the morning, at night, you can adjust the alerts to your conditions at work. So I also like that. Now, these are some of the more practical kind of benefits, but when you combine these great practical benefits of living life as it is with SmartGuard, then I think we've got a unsurpassed combination, new and only in the world kind of a pump. SmartGuard plus all of these benefits, plus manual bolus from meter. I mean, this is pretty nice.
Yeah, no, I could geek out in the engineering part of me and go through all the specs. I mean, I talked about SmartGuard, and that's obviously, I think, critically important. We did a whole bunch of engineering and design. Lewis talked about the color screen with the auto dimming. We changed the orientation so the pump is kind of user-friendly with one hand versus two-handed use. We changed the way the Bolus wizard screen is laid out so you can see all the information on the screen at the same time, so you can get the context of your carbs and your glucose and your active insulin. We talked about the alarms and the alerts, and so we heard with Paradigm that maybe it wasn't loud enough. When we tested this one, we hear it's too loud. But I'll say the alarms and the sound is adjustable, so if it's too loud, you can dial it down, or put it on vibrate, or do a combination. So there's a lot of customization. You can do preset basals and boluses, different time settings. So if something is at night versus the day, you can have different settings. We mentioned the waterproof, the drop proof. Our drop testing was against the floor, but maybe you're throwing the pump against the wall. It should be equally durable to both of them. We changed the radio frequency, so it's on a 2.4 gigahertz now, and so we find that there's a lot less lost sensor, and you have your glucose data available more reliably. Gosh, what else? I mean, a whole number of things. You can name your basal patterns, and so weekday, weekend, sick day, these sorts of things. So really kind of, I mean, we can just go down the list one by one, feedback that we got that we try to incorporate. So I think SmartGuard from a therapy standpoint is really important. But then this was really what kind of, for people who've been using Medtronic pumps for a while, really kind of jumping the MiniMed pump platform up into the modern age, I think, of the look and the feel and the usability to go with all of, I think, the clinical benefit and the support that Medtronic has always really, I think, been strong on.
Yeah. I mean, we're proud of it. I think it combines.
Can you tell?
I think it combines, the safety, the efficacy, which we were always known for. We were just doing the right thing, human factor studies. Just great clinical studies around SmartGuard. We've got the data to show it, to prove it. It's just unique, better. But we're now adding, a lot of other factors. We're making it more desirable. We're making it more usable, friendly. So I think we got now the combination of safety, efficacy with usability, desirability, just improved quality of life. We're liking it. We think this is fantastic. And everybody's really proud of bringing MiniMed 630G to the marketplace. So, thumbs up. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we have some more questions for you. You're not
All
getting
right.
it off that easy. All
Let's
right.
do it.
Okay. So Kara, who had some very nice comments of thanks. Thank you, Kara, for being a loyal customer for so long. She's asking, are there volume controls on the alarms, or are they just different types? So you just want to restate that and clarify that you actually can customize each of the volumes, right?
Yeah, so there's audio alarms, so beep sounds, there's vibrate alarms, and so you can have any combination of the audio tones and the vibration, and you can also adjust the level, and then you can also set what alarms you want for different types of alarms. So if you want to just set it for when your glucose is low, you just want to know in an emergency situation, you can do that. If you want to have alarms when you're low or high, you can do that. If it's predicting where you're going to go, so you can essentially customize the alarms in any way that you would want to.
Fantastic. And I've now realized I can't go one by one on questions, but there's been some questions around sensors. Mike, do you maybe want to talk about some of the, while we're still with the nLight sensor, we have made some improvements over the last months.
Yes, right? So the MiniMed 630G uses the same nLight sensors that the MiniMed 530G uses, so this launch is not the launch of a new sensor. Having said that, we are constantly doing continuous improvement on our sensors. With manufacturing improvements, supplier quality, material improvements, and so we're constantly iterating, and the sensors that we have coming off the line today are the most reliable, the most robust, so they're going to be matching blood glucose values closer than ever, less outliers, sensor to sensor variability. You're going to see increasing consistency. And the data that we have, and we're able to get kind of the blinded data for hundreds of thousands of users and millions of sensors, and the data that we see shows that the sensors that we're putting out now are the best that they've ever been. So we think that's going to work really great with the MiniMed 630G system.
One of the things I tell you I like about MiniMed 630G is I'm a newbie. You know, you're like the expert. You know, Mike knows everything. I'm like sort of your new patient, just coming in. I've been thinking about, you know, a pump. You know, this might be the thing. And what I like about it is that from a menu screen, a lot more intuitive, a lot more easy to follow. I personally just did not need to go through as much kind of thinking about it. Reading stuff. I really, on my own, you know, you still need to read a lot of stuff, but on my own, I can figure out a lot of things. So a lot more intuitive user interface, which for a new person on a pump, I think this is kind of starts being very compelling.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's 400,000 people on Medtronic pumps, so we get a lot of feedback, and it's all been incorporated into this.
So Jessica's asking if we can go over the waterproof feature one more time. So we want to talk about maybe the waterproof of the pump and of the transmitter, right? So
12 feet, 24 hours is the pump. If anybody plans on being 12 feet deep for 24 hours, Carrie and I were joking, the pump is probably more waterproof than we are.
Yeah, well, we're not recommending that experience.
I don't recommend you go 12 feet deep for 24 hours, but the pump's very waterproof. And then the Guardian Link transmitter is waterproof for 8 feet for 30 minutes. So that's the waterproof stats.
Yeah, and I mean from a pump waterproof, I mean this is probably the highest standard that's out there. So so I know people kind of sometimes get confused with waterproof, water resistant, water this and that. 24 hours, 12 feet, like you said. This is better than the human body.
So we're also asking questions about the age labeling. Can you go over that for us? 16 up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's labeled for 16 and up. It's really driven by the sensor, and so the sensor labeling is for nLight for ages 16 and up. And so the MiniMed 630G system, which works with the same nLight sensor, is labeled for ages 16 and up. For the standalone MiniMed Revel is standalone pump is indicated for all ages.
And Louis, we got some questions about Connect. Do you want to maybe go over that we are a family, a MiniMed family now, and what our options are for our patients?
Yeah, absolutely. So so I think that we are really committed to providing choices for our patients. We understand not everybody is the same. We understand people are on different paths of their journey with different situations, with different needs. So So one of the things that we're going to be providing, as time goes by, is really a family of products, so that people can find within our family what is right for them. So if you want the waterproof, if you want this great screen and the quality of the visual quality. This might be the pump for you. You've got SmartGuard. This might be the pump for you. But if you're more interested in the ability to connect with others, to make sure that your family members are engaged and involved, and you've got an iPhone, then the MiniMed 630G with Connect with your iPhone, it's really a great proposition. Again, you got great screens in both situations. You've got great SmartGuard in both situations, and now you can select what is right for you. So you'll see us hopefully adding more choice that's meaningful, choice that people can make sure that's right for them, that they can select. So so that's what you'll see from us in the future.
All right, I think I'm not sure what the community is going to do to me if I don't ask about upgrading. So you want to talk about maybe, who wants to talk about upgrading? Mike, we just did this.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And since I've been here long enough through it. So we will have options for upgrading. We don't have final details yet. We're still exploring all the options. It's likely to be different, right, depending on how long ago you purchased, your insurance situation. I will say, this is a different pump platform, so there's going to be different costs involved versus our old programs, which was a paradigm pump to a paradigm pump. So, like I said, the final details will be coming out, but the short answer is that there is an upgrade path, and there will be different pricings depending on what your specific situation is.
Yeah, I mean, this is about, I think, as a company, we have been committed to the pathway. We know it's important for patients. So so this again continues that tradition. I think you'll see the details vary depending on everyone's situation.
All right, and we have a question on remote bolusing. We want to go over that, exactly what type of boluses you can do from the new Contour NextLink 2.4 meter.
All right, that brand is a mouthful. So it works with the meter that Carrie just mentioned, but the remote bolusing capability is either a manual bolus or a preset bolus. So the Bolus Wizard is not available on the meter. So it's really more for discretion, or if it's kind of a standard bolus for a snack or something that you use, you just want to whip out the meter. But what it'll do is it's a manual bolus or a preset bolus. For the Bolus Wizard, you got to go to the pump and use the full screen.
All right. I think there are more questions, but I think we've taken up enough of your time.
Post them, we'll answer.
That was my next point.
Oh.
So keep them coming at us on the Medtronic Diabetes Facebook page, or through Twitter, or through our Instagram account. We're here all day. We're doing our best to get to those questions as quickly as we can. We talked a little bit about what's next and when's available, and so you can order today. You can go to medtronicdiabetes.com and you can fill out a form, and the folks on our team will get back to you, and they'll explore if it's an upgrade situation or you're brand new to us, whatever that might look like for you. We won't have product to ship for about 6 to 7 weeks, but it's always a good idea to go ahead and start the process. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not say that for more important safety information, you can go to medtronicdiabetes.com/important safety information.
For those of you who are still with us.
Thank you so much, Louis and
Thank you,
Mike,
guys.
for taking time, and thanks,
Thanks.
community.
Thank you. We're excited.